Huh? Come eat. Mommy wants you. Come eat. What? All right. What up, everybody? My bad. Had to go handle some business, but we back. A little bit.
Yeah, what we tell them? Go, birds. Go, birds. Go, birds. Go, birds. Put in work. Put in work. Put in work. Touchdown. Hurts. Yeah, up in the link, you know what's going down. If you touch down in Philly, Hurts, he gon' shake the defenders. Scramble out the pocket, touchdown, then hit the gritty. You know big play slate, lock him down all day. And by the way, you know that boy AJ always open and going for more than 1K. So what we lost in the Super Bowl, it's all good cause Hurts gon' take us back. It's only right that we run it back. I mean, just look at all our running backs. All the pressure, we gon' handle that. All it did was make diamonds. All off season, we was grinding. It ain't too late, it's perfect timing. Fly equals fly, working overtime. We gon' hold up that Lombardi. We don't listen to the critics. We just ball and make them feel sorry. Got a lot of heart like Rocky. We got weapons like Dawkins. We got dogs like Carter. This year it's time to go hard.
What's up, everybody? And welcome to another edition of the Jalen Frigg podcast with your boy, Cool Cat Connor. Here on this podcast, we talk 95% of Jalen Frigg with just a hint of Philadelphia Eagles. I know there's a game on right now between the little boys and the Detroit Lions. And yes, although I want to watch that game, which I am, and I want to let all the Cowboy fans know that
Dallas Cowboy trash.
Right now, I got issues in my own backyard trying to keep the division on lock. So even though they're probably going to lose, which I hope so, we got to handle our business here in the kingdom. We got to beat the Chargers. That's the only way you're going to see me laugh. We got to beat the Chargers. So with that,
Acknowledge me!
I, Cool Cat Connor, officially acknowledge Jalen freaking Hurts as my franchise quarterback.
Acknowledge me!
Jalen Hurts. Let's see if he can get something going. There's Hurts. He's back. Fire. Touchdown! They really came out on fire. Hurts.
He is in such control.
Hurts. What a play by Jalen Hurts. Beautiful throw by Hurts. 3 rushing touchdowns. Give me a little more of that. Boy, that hurts. Boy, did he make magic happen.
Jalen Hurts, number 1.
That really, really hurts.
His status is up in the air, Big Zay. Don't care. Don't care what his status, whether he's playing or not. We got some issues to work on here. If he plays, great. If he don't play, great. We still got some issues to work here. But since we're talking about Justin Herbert, that leads right into me telling y'all the truth, which is going to hurt you. And the truth is, it's another dragon in the 2025 draft. False start offense, Lions, 5-yard penalty, second down. It's another dragon in the 2020 NFL COVID draft that we got to slay. Because you know what they say. Y'all know what they say. Oh, Justin Herbert. He's so much better than Jalen freaking Hurts. Look at the ball placement. Right? Look at the ball placement from Justin Herbert. I mean, did y'all see that ball placement from Justin Herbert? Right? Right? We got to slay another 2020 dragon. Because let's face it, we beat Joe Burrow already. We beat Tua already. We beat we beat Tua, we beat Burrow, we beat Jordan Love. The only guy that we did not beat is Justin Herbert. My honest opinion about that, and I think I addressed it already. But I'll address it again. Be better. Whoever did that needs to be arrested. Oh, yeah. For me, I don't like it. Like, you vandalize somebody's house. I don't like that. Hold on. Yeah. For me, I didn't like it, and hopefully those guys are getting locked up. That's my honest opinion on it. But yeah, man, we got to defeat Justin Herbert. Not only that, we got to keep our playoff hopes alive. I don't know how, but because you've beaten almost every team that you could, you got to win this game. I mean, we can beat the Commanders twice. We can beat the Raiders. That's 11 wins right there. But to truly, we got to beat everybody. And it starts versus the LA Chargers. That's another dragon to slay. That's another one. And I get it. I understand that's just another dragon to slay. Because in 2021, we had an opportunity. It's enough. I want y'all to think about this. In 2021, where we had an opportunity to beat Justin Herbert and we didn't take it. We had an opportunity to beat Justin Herbert and we didn't take it. We have an opportunity. Yeah. But it's the matter of if he's going to play. We don't know yet. He's limited today. Thursday and Friday will tell us everything. Thursday and Friday. No, damn. Friday and Saturday. Friday and Saturday will tell us everything. Friday and Saturday will tell us everything. Exactly. He's been practicing with a coat on, cast on. So he was limited. So it's a matter of will he be limited tomorrow and Sunday? No, tomorrow and Saturday. That's the thing. Will Justin Herbert be limited Friday and Saturday? That's the thing. Will he be limited Friday and Saturday? That's a question. Okay? Right. I feel bad that, yeah, Jalen Carter, man, that sucks. That sucks. But yeah, man. I mean, Jalen and this team. Let's talk about this game real quick, and then we're going to hear from him himself. Jalen and his team got to take advantage of this. I mean, I'm watching the Cowboys and the Lions right now. The Cowboys is losing. You have an opportunity to win this division for the first time back to back. Whatever happens in the playoffs, say la vie. Did you see what Jason Kelsey said? Yeah. But did y'all hear what Jalen says? What up, Chad? Did y'all hear what Jalen said about the fact that he don't want to run? Did you hear what Jalen said? I'll let you listen to his press conference in a few minutes. Ball loose! Ball loose! Ball loose! Oh my God! Wow! Wow! Wow. Oh, I gotta see boss. Wow. Oh, that ball is loose. That ball is loose. His knee was not down. But that ball is loose. His knee was not down. Desperate team. I want the Philadelphia Eagles to pay attention to this. I want the Philadelphia Eagles to pay attention to the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions are a desperate team trying to get back to the playoff hunt. The Detroit Lions are desperate. Probably a false start on them. Or holding. Yeah. You got to run more. I agree with y'all. You got to run more. But this is the thing for Jalen and for this team. Look at the Detroit Lions. It's 1st and 20. They'll probably do that. They're desperate. I want the Philadelphia Eagles and Jalen to understand the mean of this. And they got to go backwards again. Be desperate. Be desperate. The Detroit Lions, despite these penalties, is giving you the gift of the division. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. You be desperate. Be desperate. Everybody don't even, people say you ain't got a chance in hell versus, yeah, throw it out of bat. Protect the ball like you've been doing. Right. First down, Detroit Lions. Protect the ball like you've been doing, man. All I know is this. I trust Jalen. I believe. And before, I want to say this. I want to talk about something real quick. I want to get to the Jalen freaking Hurts headlines real quick before we listen to the press conference. Do y'all realize that after the hard knocks where Jalen took accountability, when Jalen was taking accountability, everything was quiet? Because you have people like this. Let me let y'all see me real quick. You have people like this and people like this running their mouth about Jalen. And after that hard knocks, not a word. Touchdown. David Montgomery. Touchdown, Montgomery. Think about this, y'all. After the hard knocks, this was before the hard knocks. This was before the hard knocks. I haven't heard a word about Jalen. Ow! Not a word. Wow. Not a freaking word. Not an apology. Nothing. Not a freaking word when it comes to the king. Not a freaking word. Not a freaking word. That tells you. Like, seriously. Not a word. Seriously. They haven't said a word. Well,
Last time being here, that's
seeing
changed
this.
my life. It changed my life, and it changed my mentality, and it changed.
No, not that. That's a clip. I'm talking about this. And seeing this. Not a freaking word. What up, William? Not a freaking word. It's thank you. One episode, and it's crickets. Ain't that crazy? One episode. One episode. Ain't that crazy? One episode. Yep, I saw. I know. I'm watching the game. And as much as I want to laugh at their pain, I can't do it because what I rock the artist. As much as I would love to laugh at the Cowboys, it don't mean nothing unless we handle our business. I mean, it don't mean nothing. I can come up here and say stuff on the lines of this.
Dallas Cowboy trash.
But if we don't handle our business, what's the point? Yeah, everyone was quiet. Yeah, everybody was quiet. Oh. I have started to fantasize, privately wonder what the Eagles' offense would look like if Tanner McGee was playing quarterback. Right. And this right here. That the Jalen begun to see similarities between Jalen freaking Hurts and Ben Simmons. But when Hard Knocks comes on, it's dang on crickets. Then they turn their attention to Nick Sirianni all of a sudden. Ain't that crazy? One episode of Hard Knocks, and it's crickets. Right. Once again, I repeat, ain't that crazy? Exactly. But according to these people, because the offense ain't good right now, I privately wondered what the offense would look like if Tanner McKee was playing quarterback. I don't think I'm the only one out there. And then this guy, Ben Simmons. He compares your quarterback to Ben Simmons, y'all. He said Ben Simmons, y'all. He said this mother trucker, and we'll listen to Jalen in a few minutes. He said Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons. This mother trucker said Ben Simmons. How are we feeling about that? He said Ben Simmons. Exactly. But this guy said Ben Simmons. He said Ben Simmons, y'all. Right. He said Ben Simmons. Oh my God, man. He said Ben Simmons. He said Ben Simmons. Like the flagship radio station of the Philadelphia, Ben Simmons. Charge my phone. No. He said, all right, I'm going to let y'all listen to exactly what he said, and I want y'all to ask the question, is he dumb? Let me find it. I'm going to let y'all listen to it. So he said Ben Simmons. Let me find it. It's here somewhere. Let me find it. He said Ben Simmons. Let me find it. It's here. Let me find it. I want y'all to listen to exactly what he said. I'm trying to find it. It's here. Here it is.
Right now, if you would do me the service of just letting me say my truth. If you would do me the service of just letting me say my truth right now.
All right.
We are in Ben Simmons territory with Jalen Hurts. Now, I want to get off the top. I don't think their mental makeup is the same. Obviously, Jalen has thrived under pressure. Ben Simmons did not thrive under pressure. Those things I agree with. I'm not saying everything is a parallel, but there are a lot of parallels that I see what's happening with Jalen Hurts that I saw with Ben Simmons. First of all, there are very basic things that Jalen can do as a quarterback to help the football team, just like there were very basic things that Ben Simmons could do to help the basketball team. Ben Simmons would not just go to the rim and get fouled, even though we knew he could on pretty much any play. Jalen Hurts will not run the football. Both are simple. That both things can help. Neither guy wanted to do it.
So Jalen can't run the football like Ben Simmons can't do a free throw. But Jalen just said that he does whatever it takes to win.
Ben Simmons, although not a great three-point shooter, not even a good three-point shooter.
Let's listen to that again.
Jalen has thrived under pressure. That I see what's happening with Jalen Hurts that I saw with Ben Simmons. First of all, there are very basic things that Jalen can do as a quarterback to help the football team, just like there were very basic things that Ben Simmons could do to help the basketball team. Ben Simmons would not just go to the rim and get fouled, even though we knew he could on pretty much any play. Jalen Hurts will not run the football.
But Jalen said he could. He does whatever it takes to win, but okay.
Both are simple, that both things can help. Neither guy wanted to do it. Ben Simmons, although not a great three-point shooter, not even a good three-point shooter, refused to do it, refused to shoot corner threes. We see Andre Drummond shooting friggin' corner threes now. Ben Simmons wouldn't do it. They begged him to. Brett Brown begged him to publicly. They couldn't get him to do it, even though it would help the team. Jalen will not or cannot throw the ball over the middle, making the job of the offensive coordinator even harder. With all these things that happened with Ben Simmons, the coach got blamed. Brett Brown just couldn't get it out of him. Brett Brown just couldn't figure out the right way to use him, right? So they got rid of Brett Brown, and it just got worse with Doc Rivers. And in this case, we have Kevin Petullo and Nick Sirianni getting blamed for the things that Jalen Hurts will not or cannot do. Then we had with Ben the relationship with Joel Embiid.
AJ Brown.
It was all frosty and kept getting told it's not a big deal. They don't need to be friends. They don't need to be friends. They don't need to be friends. They don't need to be friends, which I can agree with, right? They don't need to be friends, but they need to be able to make it work together on the court. And with Jalen, we have the AJ Brown thing. I don't care that they're not great friends anymore, but they don't seem to be able to even communicate on the field, right? So we had this whole big problem. And with Ben, every time you pointed out these issues, these very obvious issues that anyone could see, I would just hear 3-time All-Star, 2-time All-Defense. And with Jalen, every time you point out some of these things that could help the team, you just hear Super Bowl MVP. He was Super Bowl MVP. So now we're here and we're blaming the coaches. Oh, and one final thing. The other thing I heard with Ben is that they just didn't build the right team around him, right? He's actually a small ball 5. If you just surround him with shooters, and with Jalen, I hear the same thing. You just need the exact perfect team around this guy because he has the ball all the time. And I just think we're at this point where it's going to go one way or the other. Now, as I said at the top, I believe more in Jalen as a person than I believed in Ben, but he's showing a lot of signs. And I saw how this ended in the first place, and I'm getting worried that we're going to end up in the same place.
Yep. Let me find it because I want to go to the full one. I want to go to the full one and let y'all hear it.
Jack was the lucky recipient. Point out some of these things that could help. This direction will get ugly. Or Jalen Hurts can do the opposite of what Ben did. And either not address these things and not try. That anyone could see, I would just hear 3-time All-Star, 2-time All-Defense. And with Jalen, every time you point out some of these things that could help the team, you just hear Super Bowl MVP. He was Super Bowl MVP. So now we're here and we're blaming the coaches, and Jalen Hurts is at an inflection point in his career, right? If he could go one of two ways. If he's like Ben, he can either not address these things and not try and not attempt to do everything he can to make this team better. And he can end up like Ben. The world can close in on him at that point because defenses will continue to adjust. His teammates will continue to leak things to the press, and it will get ugly. I promise. If it keeps going this direction, it'll get ugly. Or Jalen Hurts can do the opposite of what Ben did. And this offseason address these issues. Because if he doesn't, and one final thing. The other thing I heard with Ben is that they just didn't build the right team around him, right? He's actually a small ball 5. If you just surround him with shooters, and with Jalen, I hear the same thing. You just need the exact perfect team around this guy because he has the ball all the time. And I just think we're at this point where it's going to go one way or the other. Now, as I said at the top, I believe more in Jalen as a person than I believed in Ben, but he's showing a lot of signs, and I saw how this ended in the first place, and I'm getting worried that we're going to end up in the same place.
You good?
I'm good.
You good?
I'm good.
That took a lot for me. I let you cook. You burned up every damn thing, but I let you cook. Hey, you didn't come out with a masterpiece here. I'm just letting you know.
Oh, it was a masterpiece.
No. That was not a masterpiece. And it all started wrong by comparing him to Ben Simmons. I know Jalen has his flaws.
Yes.
I'm not saying he's perfect.
Yes.
He is no way, shape, or form in the same category as Ben Simmons. First of all, Ben Simmons had a ton of talent.
Yes.
And refused to tap into that talent because he was a mental midget. And I don't mean that in the most derogatory way. I just mean from the standpoint of.
You don't mean that in a derogatory way, Mike. Did you hear that as that came out of your mouth?
I did. That's why I heard it. I didn't mean it in a derogatory way.
Do you want to take back mental midget?
Yeah, I'm just saying. Here's what I'm saying.
Uh-huh.
He lacked the mental capacity to perform in moments where it required him to be his best at the highest stage.
I agree.
That is not Jalen.
That I agree. That is a difference.
He had more natural ability than Jalen has.
For sure.
Jalen's a second-round pick. Ben Simmons was the number 1 pick overall.
Yep.
LeBron James, right? That's the next LeBron James. Like, Jalen was never been compared to great quarterbacks from that standpoint.
Yes.
Like, he had to earn his
I agree.
His place at the table.
I agree.
Here's the other thing. Now, those are the biggest things, and those can't be overlooked because when you are saddled with being the star or the guy who needs to perform when it's required for you to be at your best on the biggest stage and you refuse to answer the bell, not you shot air balls and you just came up lame or you threw incompletions. You didn't even want to shoot the ball. You didn't even want to be in that moment. You were a detriment to the team.
But don't you see that happen with the guys running over the middle and Jalen seeing them and not pulling the trigger?
No, here's why I don't view that as big of an issue. I'm not saying it's not an issue.
Sure.
I'm not saying it's not an issue. But they've already shown, and he's already shown, that you can win without him doing that. Now, had the Sixers gone on and won with Ben Simmons not shooting a three, you can scream to the cows come home about shooting three-pointers. If they win without him shooting a three, he's obviously right that he doesn't need to do that in order for them to ultimately win a title. Jalen has done that. He's done those things. He's been the lowest over-the-middle thrower in NFL for the last 5 years since he's been the starter. That is nothing new. They've had success with it. And as far as the running is a tricky thing. Because when you're younger, you run more. You get a few injuries, you get a little older, now you want to be selective when you decide to run. And I just think that's where Jalen is at. He's more selective when he's deciding to run. When you're worth the type of money that he is and the brand that he is, he damages his brand if he's on the sideline for 3 or 4 weeks. He can't play. Somebody else is in there performing in his position. So he's going to be smart like he should when he decides to take off and run. You can't do it recklessly. But the whole Ben Simmons thing, I was out from the time this comparison came up. Because Ben Simmons, I wouldn't want Ben Simmons on my team if he's the last guy I got to pick between him and give me somebody. Give me Reggie Evans. Give me Popeye Jones. I don't care. Give me. Like I'll take me over Ben Simmons.
And you said Jalen did win, which is true. But there it is, Super Bowl MVP.
Got the trophy right there on the mantle.
I'll tell you what, if Ben Simmons has had a Saquon in Joel, but Joel couldn't stay healthy.
Right? He was healthy that series.
I know, but what happened was he disappeared. My point is there's probably a scenario in which at Ben Simmons' peak, if the team was absolutely positively right, but the problem is the team's not always going to be absolutely positively right.
Sure.
So
but the biggest issue in the comparison is the mental makeup.
I agree on that.
I don't want to make light of that.
Sure.
But it's the makeup of the athlete in those moments. I don't think Jalen, even though he may not necessarily perform the way you want him to, he doesn't run from the moment. That man stood across the field from Patrick Mahomes twice and outplayed him in the Super Bowl. He didn't blink.
Absolutely.
That takes a That's like being across from Brady or being across from Jordan, and you still doing your thing, and you win, and you even outplay that guy. That's what that was with Jalen Hurts. Now listen, I had 3 days where I was in the field position. Right.
See how stupid that sounds, y'all? See how stupid that sounds? Ben Simmons. All right, let me go ahead and let's calm our nerves, by listening to the king himself address a lot of these ish. Okay? Enough of that stupid clown. Let's listen to the king, Jalen freaking Hurts. All right? Let me set it up. Let me listen to the king. Right. That nonsensical bull, Ben Simmons. The fuck wrong with you? You have the audacity, the temerity, the admittedly, the gall to say Ben Simmons, and you don't think you ain't gonna get away with that? Clown said Ben Simmons, y'all. Ben Simmons. And y'all think he ain't gonna get away with that. Not on this show.
The league and his family. How we doing?
Jalen, before we dive into the football, I just am curious, from a teammate perspective, today Jordan Mailata was named the Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee from your organization. From a teammate perspective, been around him every year since you've been here. What stands out about him?
Well, I think that's a heck of an honor to be able to represent your team, be able to represent the league and his family in something so prestigious. The things that he means to this team and what he means to the community. Having a journey that is as unique as his, and coming and learning the game of football and being one of the best at it. I'm glad he gets to soak in that moment. And I think for him, just being someone who's always been diligent about his game, diligent about himself and how he represents himself, and wanting to continue to grow as a person. I think those are the things that I see from him. So that's a big congrats to him.
Jalen, now you've had some time to rewatch the last game. Are there some things that stood out to you in terms of why the offense probably wasn't moving the way you wanted it to?
You asked me about last game, but it's not just the last game I've watched. Just going back and watching a ton of different things, years, games from the season, the rhythm, the sequencing, and the structure that we had and how organized we were. I think we got a lot of opportunity in front of us. But it takes a tight-knit group. It takes a collective. And all of those things are things that we can control in hindsight. So I see it as the same thing. You never run from accountability. You never run from owning the things that you can control. And there are a lot of things that we can improve on. There are a lot of things that we've done well in the past. There are a lot of things that we do well now. We just have to be more consistent in that. We got to be able to define the things that we want to do so it's clear for everyone and everyone's on the same page. And I start with myself first on that.
Are you saying you sought out like going back further to do like a deeper dive into things?
Yeah, that's something that's normal for me. That's something that's normal for me. It's not the first time that I've done that. Honestly, it's something that I do often. Just a matter of reflecting and saying, okay, how were things, and then how were things now? And that's in the good, and that's in the tough, and so something that's pretty standard. Go back.
Yeah.
Go back. Yeah, go back. I go back.
When applying your second time you guys are coming up with 2-game losing streak, you responded last time and won 4 in a row. Is there anything you can take from coming out of that 2-game stretch and try to apply to coming out of this 2 games?
Not specifically. Not specifically. I think it's just about staying true to the process, staying true to the team and the collective, and then staying the course.
John, there's been some reporting that maybe you're not as willing to run the ball this year. I was wondering if that's true, if you approach this season the same way.
Yeah, if you don't mind me asking, what is how we come to that conclusion or rationalize that?
So it wasn't my reporting. There's been reporting
Okay.
that you don't want to run the ball as much this year.
Okay. It's a win, and I've always put my energy on trying to bring the game plan and the strategy that week to life. So I'll continue to do that.
When you do your deep dive into the past, are you looking at the running game too? Is that part of the player? I know you're more of a passing game, but
Look at everything, and I have my thoughts. I've always had thoughts. Ultimately, it's not just my thoughts that are going to go out there and foster, what we do. That's not the reality of how it works. It's a lot of trust in Coach Nick. There's a lot of trust in Coach KP, and they lead the way in that. And so, I think as a unit, and more importantly as a quarterback, it's about me going out there and following the direction and the vision and following their rhythm and what they do.
With your preparation and bringing that into the week with the coaching staff, I think we've talked a lot about how many times you've dealt with coordinator changes this year, and just taking your prep and working with Kevin. What has that been like? Has that changed over the year in terms of knowing when he might have his ideas for first and second down, such things like that? What's that been like?
Yeah, it's different from year to year. It's different from year to year. And, I think when I think way back, I think about, the structure I had, the structure I had and how that was with my father when I played for him in high school. Something so simple like that can apply right now when you talk about consistency and kind of building and development and seeding and sitting under one thing so you can grow amongst that thing. That's been a big challenge in my time being an Eagle. But knowing those things are coming, I go about it and I try and foster as much as I can, given the opportunity and the environment that I'm in. And so it's just constant conversation. There's a lot of conversation with Coach Sirianni this week about, how we can improve and what his vision is and the direction we're going in. And I have a lot of confidence in what where we're headed.
So out of necessity, you've kind of had to build your own routine.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think I've been able to overcome a lot of different things because I've taken accountability and I've gone about it in a humble way, and also it's you got to have an appetite to improve, and you improve most when things are uncomfortable, and I think maybe when things aren't going your way, it's about how you respond in those times. That's when you take those leaps. That's when you take those steps. And so to answer your question, I think all of the things that I've been able to experience, the things that have been on my path, those things have taught me how to self-correct in ways. Those things have taught me how to assess things and say, okay, I made a mistake. I know the importance of not being a repeat offender in something. But I think self-correction is a very powerful thing as a player, and especially when you got a lot of change around you. And so being able to have conversations about that and always trying to, in some ways, get people up to speed on how you see things, and then respect their perspective on how they see it, and just work to try and go win the game. All of that is for the same reason. It's not for a certain outcome. It's not for how I look or the aesthetic of what it is. It's just about finding a way to win. And that's where my heart has always sat with the game. And that's where it sits still.
You mentioned sequencing earlier, Jalen. What do you think you guys are, not even comparing from year to year, but are you comfortable with that right now?
We've got ways that we can improve. Obviously, I'm seeing how seeing our efficiency and seeing some of the things that we pride ourselves in, and we're just not doing as well. And so I think this bye week or this time off, was a great time for everybody to reflect and hold and keep their eyes on the prize and what we want to do in the end. But the sequencing is important. The structure and the organization of how we do things is important. And those have been all really good conversations in that. And again, we just, with all those things that you do, it comes down to the work. And that's a big aspect in the work for us.
Jalen said after the game that teams are doing a better job defending the tush push. Any thoughts on how you guys can answer that?
Yeah, well, there are multiple ways to run the quarterback sneak. There are multiple ways to run the quarterback sneak. There are multiple ways to attack short yardage defense and short yardage opportunities when we have that. And over my six years of being here, we've done that in multiple ways. So just being able to have the versatility there when needed, and knowing that we have a great weapon and what we've been able to do with the quarterback sneak, but being able to build and just have all different things available in that. And those are things that are being discussed.
Last week, you mentioned the kids who designed your cleats came to the game as a guest of yours. I know a couple days ago, your foundation surprised a bunch of teachers with lunch and whatnot. Obviously, your job is to be QB1 here, but how important is it to you to also make your mark in this city in those ways?
Humbling. It's humbling. It's a great honor, and it's always great to be present in the midst of those who are aspiring for more for themselves, and maybe need the guidance, maybe need the inspiration, or see me as an inspiration in some regard. I take a lot of pride and responsibility in that, and it's always exciting. It's a season of giving. It's holiday season. It's a season of joy and love and all those things, and just to be able to be able to uplift in those times, and most importantly, be able to serve. Those are the things that I honor the most.
Good morning. You've always played in big markets, passionate fan bases, Alabama, Oklahoma, and now Philly. What have you learned about navigating those intense kind of markets and fan bases when maybe things aren't going well?
Well, it's the same thing that I kind of similar to what I tell the kids, what I tell anyone that I'm speaking to. There are a lot of people, a lot of young kids in the youth that'll ask questions about, man, how did you overcome that? How did you persevere? Man, what makes you tick, or what motivates you? And man, how do you do this? And I just tell them to be themselves. That's always enough. So a lot of times when I find myself telling these kids these things, I'm reminding myself to do the same thing. And so I stay true to that.
When you go back to, whether it's a couple years back, 5 years back, college, to try to learn, like you're talking about different coordinators, different coaches, different teammates, different O-line, different scheme. How do you apply, I guess, those lessons to today when things are so different?
Help me out. You kind of feel about that one.
How you go back and watch film of preview, but like you're watching film of 2021, different receivers, different coaches, different scheme, different play callers. So how do you apply those lessons to today?
Well, what it does, it takes me back. It takes me back to what that coach was thinking, what I was thinking, and what I was being taught to do, the flow of the game, how it was called, the sequencing, the feel. It takes me back to that. And you can process that, and then that just fosters more great conversation. And so when I go up there and I'm talking to Nick or I'm talking to KP, they may not know initially where it's coming from, but I mean, we're all professionals. We're not going to just go up and have a conversation and it be aimless, you know what I mean? Or not have a something that you can present something with. And so you got to have, got to come with your proof or your background with it. And that's how I've always looked at it. And that's really one of the things that I love about the game, is just having those conversations and then saying, okay, well, if you see it this way, how and why do you see it that way, so I can learn? and then just being studious in that regard, but never hesitate to go back and look back at some of those things, because a lot of things roll in cycles. So just trying to learn as much as I can and reflect as much as I can and discern what's permissible for what time and what's not, and give my input when it's needed, and then give my input when I feel like it's time to say something about something. So thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
There you go. So with that, y'all, I wish I can stay in chat, but there's a game on. There is a game on. And I got to go watch it and see what's going to happen. So, for all of us here on the Hertz Kingdom, we thank you. We love you. We appreciate y'all. Fly, Eagles, fly. Go Birds. And don't forget when you walk out to
Acknowledge me!
Oh, and one more thing.
Dallas Cowboy trash.
Exactly. Sirianni called the shot.
Sirianni called the shots. Jalen throwing dots. Couple seconds on the clock. AJ off the slot. Or he gon' throw it to Smitty. Nasty with the route running, he get shifty. O-line best in the league. You know Hurts going for the MVP. Cowboys, who can't be talking about Dak? That's Mr. INT. How many stars on this team? But this ain't Dallas, boy, we bleed green. Fight, Eagles, fight. We gon' hit them low, hit them high. Watch our Eagles fly. Saying we ain't the best in the NFC. Stop telling lies. Whole city like, go, Birds. Go, Birds. Go, Birds. Go, Birds. Put in work. Put in work. Put in work. Touchdown. Hurts. Go.